Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 13 of Cute Little Love Letters, and this one is titled Lunch Today. But, you said with confusion, it's easy to put the notes in there. That's not scary at all. But you're bearing your soul by telling him how you feel about him. That's a really brave thing to do, she said in awe. Wow, you're super brave. But now what's the game plan? That's the thing, I don't know what to do now because at some point I have to tell him it's me. He doesn't know it's me. I haven't been writing my names on the notes, you said with a sweat-dropped look on your face. I don't think you have anything to worry about, she said with a smirk. He's head over heels for you. If you had said you wanted to kiss him this morning, he would have gone for it, she said with a chuckle. Your face started burning at the thought, and you had to bury your head in your hands to hide the look on your face. But I don't know if I'm even ready for that, you wailed. I'm so out of my depth on this one. I don't know what to do. Look, there's no rush, she said, seeing your panic and despair and trying to calm you down. You can slowly introduce yourself, and then when you feel comfortable enough, you can reveal that it's you. Just keep the little notes going for a while, and then show yourself when you feel like it's a good time. Yeah, you said after thinking for a second. Yeah, okay, I can do that. From the corner of your eye, you saw Kiri and Denki enter the cafeteria and walk up to the counter too, and you shrunk back in your chair a little bit and hid, but also poked your face out so that you could watch them from around Kendo, and she chuckled. Because you can't keep living your life like this, hiding and watching him from the distance, she chided, taking another sip of her tea. Imagine, one day, that could be you standing beside him, like Karishma is right now, and buying drinks together. You thought about it, and it made your nose tingle just thinking about it. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but we'll see, you thought. Denki watched you get dragged down the hallway by Kendo that morning, the hand that he had used to hold yours still burning with the sensation of your hand to his. Damn, he said in a love-struck voice as he turned towards Kiri with almost love-heart-shaped eyes. Bro, did you see her? She's amazing. I think you were kind of scaring her though, bro. She seemed a little shy, Kiri said gently. Oh man, I didn't mean to scare her. She's just so gorgeous. Wow, an angel that walks amongst us, Denki said again, entering his little dreamlike state. Kiri chuckled and patted him on the back. You're hooked, he chuckled. But hey, we gotta find out who's putting these notes in your locker. Oh man, Denki moaned. Now I'm torn because I want to find out who likes me, but I also want to pursue Yin. Can you imagine if she was the one to be my girlfriend? He slapped his hands to his cheeks and then let himself slump down on the ground, crouching there frozen in euphoria of that thought, making Kiri chuckle at his antics. Bro, I could be the alpha of this school, he said as he jumped back up. I could strut around here, kingpin, with the hottest girl in school on my arm. Can you imagine? Kiri chuckled again. Dude, she's very shy. I don't think you should be aiming that high, Kiri said gently, but his voice of reason was lost on the Delulu Denki. But anyway, we still have to hide and see if someone puts something in my locker, and then I'll decide from there. Might even try to talk to Yin again tomorrow, Denki said with a grin to himself as he and Kiri headed off towards the cafeteria for some breakfast. Talking to Kendo helped you, not in the way that you were hoping it would, but in the way that you weren't expecting it to, and her calling you courageous really threw you. That was the last thing you'd thought of to describe yourself, but she had said it so earnestly that you had no other option than to believe her. Can I do this? Can I really do this? You thought to yourself throughout the day, and by the end of the day you had convinced yourself that you did indeed have the courage to see this through, and you didn't need to rush, like what Kendo had said. You could just take your time. So at the end of the day you waited until everyone had gone, and then halfway down the hallway you had activated your quirk, turned into a fairy, and flitted your way down the rest of the hall and into the locker room. You didn't see two guys hiding behind a shelf watching you as you floated over to Denki's locker and up inside his vent, and then dropped the note in there and fly out. From there you floated around to your locker and deactivated and got your books for home, and then closed your locker. Just then, 3 different sports teams all arrived from their after-school sports and absolutely flooded the locker room, filling it with their laughter and chatting, and you only just managed to get out alive. It was then off and back home for you, for some relaxation, painting, reading, and a good rest before the next day. A little later, Denki and Kiri were walking home together and talking about what they'd seen earlier. It was like a little bug or beetle or firefly or something, Denki mused, trying to work out what it was that he had seen flying up in your locker. Yeah, I don't really know what it was either, But it's definitely that person's quirk, Kiri said, thinking about it. I wonder which class they're from. I don't know, but they leave the hottest little notes, Denki said, unfurling the latest note left in his locker to read it again. Ah, man, I want to know who it is so badly. Kiri chuckled with sympathy. It must be hard waiting, he said to the lightning blonde. It is, Denki said sadly. It's okay. Hang in there, bro. Patience is manly, Kiri said passionately. That night your parents got a letter to say that the teachers from UA would be coming around on the weekend to talk to you about moving into UA Heights Alliance Storms, which you still had slightly mixed feelings about, but you were trying to focus on the positives. And the next day was back to school again. You were in your own little world again when you entered the building and walked over to your locker and were excited and terrified to see Denki standing there in front of it, obviously waiting for you. Hey, good morning, Yin, he greeted you. Hi, Denki, you said softly, your cheeks and tips of ears burning as you stared at the ground. I wanted to say hi to you this morning because, yeah, he said with a nervous chuckle. So, what food do you like? Maybe we could get lunch together sometime? He offered quickly. I guess that would be okay, you stammered, hesitantly looking up at him. He had a goofy big grin on his face and you quickly looked away again. Looking at him was way too much. He was just too cute. Cool, really? Okay, let's lock it in, he said excitedly. How about today? We could have lunch today, yeah? You hummed, feeling like you wanted to just use your quirk and run from this situation, but then remembering that Kendo had called you courageous, and you took a deep breath in. Yes, today, you said in a fairly firm voice, one that even surprised you. Wow, awesome, okay, he said as he stepped aside to let you get to your locker. Did you need a hand? I can carry your books for you. I'm good with carrying books. I'm, pretty strong, he said as he wiggled his eyebrows and raised one arm up and did a biceps flex, showing off a very lean arm to you, and then realising that he really didn't have big muscles, so he quickly put his arm down and cleared his throat. I don't have big muscles, but what I lack in muscles I definitely don't make up for in brains because I'm not smart at all, he said, and before he could say anything more, you giggled. Oh, I'm sorry, you said suddenly when he froze. Forgive me, I didn't mean to be rude. No, not at all. I'm just happy I made you laugh, he said excitedly with a bright grin on his face. If I can make you laugh, then that's a win for me. I don't need smarts or muscles. This boy, someone come get their Pikachu knockoff. Honestly, next chapter 14 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.